ITBC, what's the deal? So I got a chance to look at this press conference today, Tyson Fury and Vladimir Klitschko. A lot of interesting things I saw at the press conference. Usually it's Tyson Fury, the one that is making his opponents, and even people that's not his opponents, just other fighters in the division. He usually makes guys feel uncomfortable about things he says, some of his actions. He just make some guys feel uncomfortable. He made Vladimir Klitschko feel uncomfortable in one of their press conferences for the first fight when he was running around like in a Batman suit. Just some of his actions and just his body language. You can tell Klitschko's kind of just didn't really sit well with him. I'm not saying he rattled him, and you were able to visibly see it, but I do think inside and deep down it did rattle Vladimir Klitschko to a point. Now this press conference, it was like reverse psychology, right? Vladimir Klitschko was the one that I wouldn't say he made Tyson Fury uncomfortable, but I do believe he caught him off guard when he told him to fuck off. Vladimir, usually he's usually calm, collected. He's real careful about things he says. And he didn't seem emotional when he said fuck off. It was actually one of the most he was pretty calm when he said it. So I think he knew he was going to say it. I don't think it was something that just happened or Fury did something to infuriate him to say it. I believe it was planned. And I think his approach, at least in the press conference, is he's coming in with the mindset of a contender. He knows he's going to be fighting in another person's backyard. And he may take this into the ring. Now, a press conference and actually what's going to happen in the ring are two totally different things. Let's not forget the fact that Vladimir Klitschko is 40 years old. As great as Vladimir Klitschko is, and he may still have a lot left in the tank, and I may be totally underselling what Vladimir Klitschko has left. I know what he's accomplished. So I know some of you are going to run down all his accomplishments. I know Vladimir Klitschko's accomplishment. You know, the 18 successful title defenses only behind Joe Louis's 25 and Larry Holmes' 20. He has the second longest reign as champion. Was it 9 years and some change? Second to Joe Louis, 11 years and some change. I know all that. I know that he, fought, Brian Jennings was undefeated, Pulev undefeated, Povetkin was undefeated, Pianata was undefeated, Wok. I know all that. I totally understand that. And a lot of you point out the fact that Vladimir Klitschko is a lot better in rematches. And one thing I just like to point out about him being better in rematches, yes, he rematched Thompson, Peter, Bird, Brewster. Some of those guys, besides the fight he had with Brewster, he won all the other fights. And you can add in the fact that those rematches some of them were 3 years, 5, 6 years apart. This fight with Tyson Fury is what was it going to be 8 months, 9 months, less than a year. And he's 40. This is a little bit different from those rematches. He didn't win the first match, And we know Brewster beat him the first time around. Then the next time around he fought Brewster, then Brewster had a knee brace on and battling injury. I'm not saying he was totally washed up, but I know he had some injuries he was trying to get over. Vladimir started to get into his stride, into his groove, man, and start to find himself as a fighter when he was rematching a lot of those guys. He was on top of his shit. You know what I mean? He was a totally different fighter. Some of those guys was towards the end by the time they start to rematch him. if I can remember correctly. I don't have everything pulled up in front of me. So this is different. Vladimir may look better in rematches, that may be a fact, but this is a little different. He's not the bigger guy in the ring. He's admitted, now this is him, you know, so don't get mad at me, get mad at him for saying this. He's admitted that, man, Tyson Fury has some skill. Obviously, right? Because he took the titles from me. He has some things that are very difficult to deal with. He's the bigger guy. He's the fresher guy. He's the younger guy. Usually, that means your reign is over with. Everybody's not Larry Holmes. Everybody's not Big George Foreman. I'm not going to put pressure on Vladimir Klitschko to have to regain his past glory and give us another 6 years of reigning dominance. That's asking a lot. That would be asking a lot. Now, it could happen, and I may be proven wrong. And if I am, I'm going to give him his props. But that's asking a lot. I mean, Klitschko has done a lot, man. His legacy is set. Will he bring a different demeanor into this fight? I don't know. The Kirbat pull-off fight is one of the fights I like to pull up, and he fought an excellent fight in that one. He was bouncing on his toes a little bit. Boom, leaping in with the left hook. The jab was working, the right hand. He even threw some punches in the clinch. That was 2014. Another fight, an old fight that's on YouTube. Who's the guy, man? Alicio Castillo. That fight, he looked good in that fight. And it's old fight, but that's the Vladimir that I would like to see consistently. But you get older, man.